Free game. And don't ever say I never told y'all anything. Men are more attracted to peace than, okay? And don't let that go over y'all heads, because I be hearing women, seeing women talk about her, talk about his girl, talk about his wife. That lady is probably an angel. Okay? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder anyway. But you don't know what type of energy, peace, vibes, happiness, just being a good soul, being a good person. You don't know what this person brings, what type of value she brings. Y'all so focused on the image, the outside. The exterior is beautiful. Inside is just ew. And I be hearing it all the time from these men. Yeah, she bad as hell. She cold as hell. Body banging. Attitude ugly. Energy ugly. When me and my best friend go out, it's hard to explain, because the looks that we get from other women, like last night when I went out, I got looked up and down a lot last night. I got the ugliest stares last night. This man in my face, she looking at me. Why he talking to me? Because you looking stank. I'm over here laughing, giggling, having a great time, a great ball. He's attracted to that energy. He wants some of this. Okay? Peace, happiness, love is way more attractive than what you think.
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life? I have to disagree. I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, sex, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So I'm going to call your bluff, because I don't think that's true. This, by the way, is not police lights. This is some kind of flashing light in a parking lot. I'm not quite sure what it is. But anyway, again, calling your bluff. Okay?
A man talk about something, I don't need a woman, I don't need this. But this is what he's left with when I'm going. When it's time for me to pack it up, this is what he's left with. This is what he's left with, guys. But a man think he all this because he pays all the bills. This is what he's left with. This is what he's left with, guys. Decorations going out of the bathroom. Empty bathroom. This is what he's left with. I'm going to show you all of his things. This is all my things. I'm about to pack all this shit up, too. This is what he's left with, guys. This is what he's left with. This is all his stuff. This is his whole life.
So let me be honest with you. As a man, I don't need much. I look around my home now. My wife designed and decorated all this stuff in here. All I need is my television, my bed, some clothes, man, and a recliner, and a couch where I can kick my feet up. I could care less about all this decoration. You know me.
Do men really love peace, or just women who won't challenge them?
I think men want peace and women have to learn how to challenge.
Break that down. I don't understand.
I think that a lot of women challenge men in a way that is not effective or conducive to the result that they want. I think a lot of women struggle to regulate their own emotion, and because they're dysregulated, they're lashing out and reactive instead of responding. Whereas a woman that is just challenging, I think I challenge Brock all the time. And I'm not saying that it's the right way. I'm just saying this is a way that works for us. But the way that I challenge him is, may I share something with you? Or can I ask you a question? Or do you have time for a quick, whatever it could possibly be? And sometimes that comes with a challenge, and sometimes it comes with a goofy question, and sometimes it comes with love, and sometimes, it's all of the different things, but none of it comes with condescension. None of it comes with disrespect. None of it comes loud or in a crazy tone, or when I start doing it doesn't come with that. I feel like women get into their emotions and they forget who they're talking to. Which brings me to this point, and I saw this video and I was like, dang, that's so deep. Why is it that we will go to work and we will be the best person we could possibly be for strangers, but then we come home and we treat the person we love the most like crap? We don't talk to them all day. We don't have patience anymore. We don't have any energy for them. But when you were just at work, you were smiling so hard for Tom, hand high-fiving, hugging, laughing, smiling, but you get home and it's like, man, I just don't feel like today. We have to be mindful of who we are talking to. That person that's in the house with you is that person that you should value the most. And sometimes that's hard, by the way. That's just the reality of it. But that's the work. Relationships be teaching, man. Let me tell you.
Like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who are not that intellectually aggressive, who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. They rather deal with a man like, not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was, do you fuck with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
I'm
is
listening.
because if you fuck with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing
I
this,
respect that,
this
baby.
nasty
Let me answer
ass
that.
shit.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hose, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got two parents. Their interests are the same. It's like right now, right? If you see 10 lions coming down the street, are you gonna try to figure out which lion gonna bite your ass or not? You're gonna be like them 10 lions. So unfortunately, the real woman agree with too much shit that these hoes is on, so we don't know the fucking difference.
And I guess you can say, well, some of these women are my friends, but how many of them are going to be your friends? You know what I mean? How many of them, oh, I just met her tonight. How many of them are going to be, well, this is my friend from childhood. I mean, since you're so advanced and you're so independent, you know what I mean? Maybe, and I hate to say it like this, but kind of piggybacking off of his example, let's say you have, lions walking down the street. Most people are going to be like, oh, heck no. And they're going to run the other way. But if somebody sees a lion coming down the street, they might run. But if they see the lion's handler walking down the street, like, oh, okay. Or the lion is in a cage. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of weird. I'm still going to hide behind the wall, but I'm not running out of there, getting in my car and speeding away, because there is somebody there that can kind of control the situation, if that makes any sense. So if it's different for a woman to be coming down the street with, say, for instance, oh man, that friend, no, I see your friend, like she's on some other type of time. Yeah, she kind of crazy, she kind of out there, but don't worry about that. Okay, bet. Versus, and then you have like 2 or 3 other friends in the group. Oh, she's a lawyer. Oh, she's a business. Okay, nice to meet you. All right. And then they're dressed appropriately. They speak appropriately, right? You say, oh, so you guys, yeah, this is my friend since childhood. Oh, okay. Or this is my cousin. Oh, okay. Right. You have 1 or 2 women out of 10 that are acting a fool, that just do whatever they want, versus like the other 6, 7, 8 or whatever, how many of the majority basically that have jobs. They are doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. They don't go out here and they don't go crazy. They don't look for attention. They don't look for validation, right? That's what men see when they see a whole group of women and they say, okay, we got these women over here that know how to control the lions. They know how to control the bad behavior, versus, oh, all of these women are their worst behavior. Nobody can be controlled. So it don't matter if I talk to her or her, even though this one is pretty and this one is gorgeous and this one is not. None of them are on their best behavior. None of them can be controlled. This is what men see when you walk down the street. Oh, just a whole bunch of lions, just on the loose, on the prowl. We don't see anybody that has any control or management of the situation. I think I'm going to run.
Anyone else notice that she's not asking why he feels that way? So here's me asking, men, why do you feel Like you would rather choose peace over a relationship with a woman. What is it about being in a relationship with a woman that causes you so much turmoil that you would just rather say, fuck it, be alone? Get that boat. Go fishing every day. Come home alone to your dog. What is it about being in a relationship that is causing you to feel this way? Now I would love to know.
Why is this even a question? You would rather choose peace over being in a relationship. Why are we asking this? In all seriousness, why are you choosing peace over a relationship? I mean, it's almost like the question answers itself. If I'm choosing peace, then that must mean the relationship is not peaceful. What are we doing? Come on, guys.
They're saying that more men are now dating for peace than beauty in 2025. 95% of men say they're prioritizing their mental health, and it's reshaping how they date. The $90 billion men's self-care industry isn't just about fitness and skincare anymore. It's about choosing partners who bring peace, not pressure. Today's men aren't just chasing beauty. They're valuing emotional stability, mutual support, and peace of mind.
Find peace somewhere else, because you ain't gonna find it here.
I mean, listen, and that, you know, and I'm a strong believer in the fact that, you know, a woman doesn't bring a man peace. A man creates his peace, and the most a woman can do is not disturb it when she comes into his life. I think there's a lot of emotional instability out there. I think there's a lot of insecurity out there.
So I feel like as a guy, if I see a girl with a little bit of potential, I don't have a problem with going in and putting in the work. And I feel like women these days, if she see a guy and he has a little bit of potential, she's not willing to like, yo, now I could work with that. Like I could help make him even better than what he is. I think last week a woman told me like, yo, I don't want to help a man become better. He should just be better when he come to me. And like, I want to be an add-on to a person like, so, especially if I'm in a relationship with a woman, I want to come in and go, all right, I can make it easier for her here, and I can help her grow in this area. And hopefully she got areas she can make it easier for me and help me grow in other areas too. Growth is infinite. So what I'm saying is, if you can't come, I just feel like this, whether you're a man or a woman, if you can't come in that person's life and make them better in some area, whether it's financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually, no matter what area it is, if you can't come in and better that person's life in some area, then why they need you? Why they appreciate you, right? Because a lot of times when you hear a man talk about his wife or his woman, or a girl talk about her husband or man, yo, you know, listen, she came and she just made my life better, be like, everything is just great. So if you just coming around just because you want a person fully developed in your mind, and you didn't come around with the thought process like, I can go in and even make this a better situation for the both of us, what you there for?
What I can't understand is the woman who has nothing that still won't accept a man who is chasing his potential. Logically, that doesn't make sense.
But I hear you. But
you know, and I'm not saying
it has to be something that a person feel like they grateful to have you in their life for.
The reason men crave peace more than love is because love without peace still feels dangerous to the nervous system. Love can be intense, love can be emotional, love can be activating, but peace tells a man you're safe here. You don't have to brace. And that signal is incredibly powerful. From a neurobiological perspective, peace activates the parasympathetic nervous system, particularly the ventral vagal pathway, which is associated with safety, bonding, and restoration. And when a man is around someone whose presence feels calm, grounded, and emotionally predictable and non-threatening, his body shifts out of fight or flight into regulation. And that shift feels like relief.
Some women get so upset when they hear a man say, I just want a woman that brings me peace. This right here is a prime example of what they really mean.
I was gonna be an hour ago. Like, it's 11 o'clock. You said you get off at 10. Where you been? Like, you ain't even bring no food. It's a shoe at. You ain't been working that doggone hard. Ain't even been off an hour. You had time to put the shoe on. And since you want to throw her up, yeah, she needs some Pampers and she needs some food. Something that apparently I don't need since you didn't bring me none. Anyway, grass needs to declare it's growing up. The weeds growing up. You don't never do nothing around here. Gonna get another outfit. She let work out a new outfit, so I can't get an outfit. I need some makeup too. Like, you want me to look good? I'm making a noise too. Like, I really need you to go take it and get it checked out because I don't know why my car doing that, but like, yeah, I need that checked ASAP. You ain't cleaned out the shed. You ain't did nothing that I asked you to do. Like, we sit up here looking like we motherfucking homeless because you won't go cut the grass. We need some new sheets for the bed. Like, I'm sick of this too. Like, and then the rent, dude, when is you gonna pay the rent? Cause we ain't paid it yet. You know I don't want no motherfucking. Shut up!
Yeah, I need some Advil after that one.
And when you ask a man, what is the one thing you want from a woman, what do they say?
Peace. You know, number one, what men look for, especially when he is ready in a serious relationship, I would say is peace.
Is it true that a good man is looking for a woman to be his peace and his soft place to fall?
Absolutely.
And although this is not a crazy request, I feel like men tend to not realize that peace is only given when peace is received. How could you possibly request peace from a woman and you only give her chaos? How could she even create peace when her life is filled of chaos due to you? How do you want to come home to peace and she just received a DM from a girl coming to her as a woman? How do you want peace when she's stressed out about the bills because she has to work just as much as you in addition to taking care of kids? How do you want peace when you neglect her in every area that she wants to be seen in? You don't compliment her, you don't take her out, you don't take things off her plate. Peace is like a garden. You want a beautiful garden with beautiful flowers, but the only way you can get a beautiful garden with beautiful flowers is if you water them. If you take care of them, if you make sure they are being fed everything that flowers need to be fed to grow and look beautiful. You can't just neglect a garden and then go and say, why are my flowers not growing?
So basically, you're not going to do it. And you wasn't going to do it in the first place. Women in the comments, peace for him could be torture for her. Peace for him means he wants to rule over her with no pushback. It sounds suspicious to you because it is. After all, can't he keep peace by staying alone? Peace comes from within. Women want to feel safe. Be her safe space and she will be your peace. The peace is when you tolerate nonsense. They don't even know what peace is. You can't want peace where you create problems. So basically, all of y'all in the comments, we talked about being a lion and not being able to spot which lion is the good one. None of these lions are good. None of them. They're all problematic.
Is there women being influenced by toxic family members, toxic friendship?
You know what's crazy to me is they deny this stuff left and right. I've never met a woman in my life that's ever admitted to being influenced by her friends or their family. But it's so obvious it happens. And while it's happening, we can see it happening and we call it out. Still doesn't matter. You can see the way they start talking to you as if they're talking down to you. They're very condescending and all of a sudden really passive aggressive with everything. And because we are trying to do everything we can to keep them happy, to make them happy, to keep the peace in the house, we are asking questions like, hey, is everything okay? What can I do to help? Clearly that's the wrong thing to do. Trying to actually communicate and be there for the woman apparently isn't a very good idea, because the only time you see a woman stick with a man and be committed to a man is if he's abusive and beating on her and cheating on her and everything else. Because it all wraps right back to that thing. We want what we can't have, men and women. It's all about ego. It's pride. That girlfriend, that family member is stroking her ego, telling her how she can do better and, look at you versus them and, whatever. Look at how much attention you get while we're out here in public. It's funny, my ex still to this day doesn't admit it. She doesn't admit cheating. She doesn't admit anything. Yet I have screenshots from her best friend at the time who came to me and told me everything. Names of the men, where they lived. She even admitted to me that she was part of the reason why she decided she wanted to leave, because this girl didn't know me. She didn't realize how good of a guy I was, so she thought her friend could do better. Her excuse was I wasn't in the right state of mind. And while I forgive the friend, like, whatever, I don't care, I do not right now. Even though I've said I forgive her, I hold resentment towards my ex for being so weak-minded and letting outside sources influence her head. For letting an incident that happened while we were married that had nothing to do with me completely destroy our marriage. And it wouldn't have mattered how good I was at being there for her. It wouldn't have mattered what I said, what I did, nothing. She was weak-minded enough to allow something to destroy our marriage. Whereas I was in the mindset that it didn't matter what happened. Even her cheating on me, it wouldn't have mattered. I was going to make it work. That mindset's gone. I will never treat somebody that way again. So when people say a man loves once and then never loves like that again, it's true. I will never show that type of commitment to anybody ever again. Because that type of commitment allows people to walk on you. No boundaries put in place will let them do what they want. And that's the problem with us yes men. You know, when I was the nice guy, it was trying to keep the peace. It was saying yes to almost everything, never telling her no. Because in my mind, if it was something she wanted and she wanted to do it and it was going to make her happy, I wanted that for her. And it should be the other way around as well. But when it only goes one way, you've got a problem. So yes, the whole thing is an ego issue. That's my problem. I know it's my problem. My mind is still, to this day, stuck in, how dare you feel like you could ever do better than me when I know you can't. And as a Christian, I'm supposed to be able to forgive and let go. And forgiveness it's not the easiest thing to do. I've forgiven her actions. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore so much that she cheated or she left or whatever it was. The only thing that bothers me is watching her run around trying to act like she's some Christian, but yet has never, ever admitted to what she did. Never apologized, never held herself accountable. Maybe she's trying to hold herself accountable to herself. Maybe inside she feels guilt and shame. And again, it's the ego coming into play where she can't approach me and say sorry. Because honestly, that's probably what it is. That's what's holding me back. Feeling like I need her apology, feeling like I need her to accept that she did wrong. And I don't know how to get over it. I have no idea. I've tried for 5 years now. I finally got to the point where I don't want her back, but for something is holding me back to where I can't forgive her. I don't even know the words. I don't want to say can't move on. I have no problem being in a relationship with somebody that's going to do the right things. But it's almost like that knife is still in my back, and I don't feel like it could ever get pulled out by anybody except her. I feel like I'm going to be walking around with a slouch, feeling like that knife is just digging deeper and deeper until she actually apologizes and holds herself accountable. You know, the smart side of me knows it's never going to happen. Like, I get it. I know it's not going to happen. But that pride and ego in me is holding on to it. And I think that's really what holds a lot of men back. That right there is why men feel like they can't love anybody else the same. You get destroyed and you never get closure. You have to watch them run around acting like they never did anything wrong. Like, life is wonderful for them. And it doesn't matter how much more money I make, how much more time I get with my boy. It doesn't matter how close I get to God. That void is always going to be there. And the real problem is way too many men feel the same way.
Good men don't choose chaos. They don't choose potential. They don't choose competition. They choose peace, consistency, and emotional safety. And that's why being calm isn't boring to them. Being consistent isn't unattractive. Right. And being emotionally safe isn't something they overlook. Good men aren't looking for someone to impress. They're looking for who they can rest with, who feels steady, who feels predictable in the best way.
Why don't we get it as women? Men will move mountains for us, especially when they love us and feel at peace. There's nothing that they won't do for us. Men are so simple in what they want, but they are so deep in how they feel. All of the stuff that men deal with every single day out in the world, they are not looking to control anybody. They just need calm. This is what I know for sure. When a man finds a woman that brings him peace and not pressure, he automatically locks in. You see, women think that they have to tell men what to do. You don't. He already knows because he wants to do it. Men want to be respected for who they are and not constantly corrected for who they're not. When you give a man peace, he will build you the world. When you give him chaos, he will walk away and protect his energy. It's not about control. It's not about submission. It's about balance. Because a man cannot lead where he has no peace.
One of the biggest issues in relationships and dating with men is that, and I've seen this play out time and time again in the comment sections of my videos and also personally in one-to-one sessions, where there's men that are coming to, you know, delve into deep healing and transformation because they're feeling as if something's missing in life, things just aren't moving forward. And each time it comes down to the fact that men seem to associate having peace in a relationship with not feeling emotionally vulnerable. So if you go back into the comment sections of my videos, there's tirades and tirades of men all saying, we just want to feel peace with a woman, which translates to being emotionally avoidant, emotionally absent, because in the emotional absence and not having a deep connection to somebody or feeling a deep connection to somebody also means if they exit, they feel much less responsibility because they never felt emotionally connected to the woman in the first place. And emotional vulnerability comes when you feel a deep level of connection to somebody, because suddenly you feel the responsibility of this person's happiness also being interconnected with your happiness at the same time. And so it comes down to the fact that most men will interpret peace or having peace in a connection when they don't actually feel anything deeply emotionally, and will settle for partners and actively seek out and choose partners that don't challenge their internal sense of emotional vulnerability. And so the reality is, men that are seeking those kinds of connections that do not stimulate their emotional vulnerability centers, but instead satiate the ego, you know, they like the look of the woman, they like what she does for him, is because he basically has deep issues with control. And this is why so many men that adopt this strategy of navigating relationships end up developing narcissistic strands of personality, because they don't feel emotional accountability for the people that they're with, because they don't feel emotionally connected to them. And so it creates these strands of expectations where, unless somebody is basically servicing them, the relationship is non-favorable, because with emotional vulnerability present, causes them to feel out of control. And it's really interesting that this is being so heavily highlighted at the moment. And as I say, just go into the comment sections of my videos, and there's a real trend with, you know, men that will blame women for being chaotic or, you know, not feeling peaceful as a way of not wanting to commit to relationships, when in actual fact it's just that they have an issue in you know, dealing with emotional vulnerability and emotional intimacy. And women are no longer in a position, because of the way that culturally things have shifted. And obviously, you know, back in the day, a lot of women will have had to settle for those connections because of women's rights, and, you know, there being a lot less opportunities for women in terms of, you know, financially being able to support themselves and those sorts of things as well, is that the need to placate a man's ego in that way is no longer present in modern society, because women don't need to do it anymore, and so are seeking deep emotional vulnerability and emotional intimacy and connections, and don't want anything less than that. And obviously, because there's a pullback of that, men are blaming women, and it's becoming this trend that, you know, men are isolated, or men are, you know, not getting the women, and it's because women don't want to feel like they are an option anymore. They don't want to feel as if, you know, they're a choice on a roster, and they don't want to feel as if, you know, they have to settle for anything where there isn't a deep level of emotional availability there. And so because of that, these men that don't have this, or are still adopting these old strategies of relationship, are basically isolating themselves from the women, because they're not healing, because they're not recognizing that without emotional intimacy, there is no relationship. And the feeling of peace that people seek comes from a feeling of home with another person, a feeling as if they are foundational to your life, and not because there's emotional fluctuations, or because there's challenges, or because you're asked to face things that are uncomfortable. All of these are a byproduct of all relationships in life. But the true meaning of peace is to know that somebody is your rock, is emotionally and physically present with you, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what you have to face together. That's the true meaning of peace. It's not controlling external circumstances so that they're quiet, so that they don't make a noise, so that they don't infuriate your internal ego because you don't want to question something about yourself. That is not the definition of peace. It's the definition of avoidance and a strategy that's adapted as a result of experiencing trauma.
And once again, these women are just going to continue to prove why men are not getting into relationships. Peace equals zero accountability for their insensitivity and disrespect. Peace means don't ask me anything, don't ask for growth, evolution. Stay at the same place and do what I tell you to do. I translate that as they consider a peaceful woman to be a compliant woman, as in they do not talk about any issues, how they feel, etc. Thank you, Sarah. Another person says, I want a woman that brings me peace, quote unquote, equals I won't bring any peace. Thank you for your contribution, Jody. Another woman says, my boyfriend just broke up with me because he said I couldn't give him peace. He was so avoidant. Very much resonate with this. Thank you, Ella. Another woman, I'm going to treat you terribly, and if you kick off about it, I'll just say you're causing drama and aren't chill, end quote. Thank you, Blue Tulip. Eden says, they want to push over you. They want a push over who won't hold them accountable. Thank you, Eden. I appreciate that. Auntie the Present. That's a pretty clever name, I guess there. Peace equals someone who will turn a blind eye to his cheating, laziness, and general BS. Once again, we don't need help spotting who the lions are, because the lions are going to tell you exactly who they are. They just have to roar. They have to. I can't walk silently. I got to be the loudest one. I have to open my mouth and let you hear how loud I can be.
A lot of women ask, how did he know she's the one? Why didn't he choose me? You see, men don't choose women off the way they shape, how beautiful they are, how stiff their breast looks, how much makeup they wear, or how long their hair is. They choose them because of peace of mind, the peace that you give to them, how confident you make them feel in themselves. Are you a supporter of their dreams? Are you somebody who pushes them to be the best version of themselves? So a lot of times you'll be in a relationship with a man for 15 years and you break up, and then 2 months after he's engaged or he get married because he found his peace, he found his reason for living, he found the person that makes him a better version of himself.
And we talk about choosing a woman off of her shape. How can you, when that shape is going to become, this is basic psychology. That shape is going to become a trigger. That beauty is going to become a training mechanism for when you walk in the door. Oh, here she goes again. Oh, here she comes again. Oh, I know that walk. No longer are they looking at the way you're shaped, the way you're twisting, how them thighs look, how that chest is sitting up, the waist being snatched, the stomach being flat, the makeup on point, body T, makeup T, hair T. They're no longer focused on that as a positive thing. They're focused on, oh my God, here we go again. I can already see by the way she's walking. I can already tell by the look on her face and how she does her hair that she's about to come over here and cause a problem.
Men care about peace.
As long as no one's fucking with me, what a day. To the ladies in the room who don't understand this, peace comes from nothing, all right? It comes from nothing. Think about a time you asked your man what he did that day. And if the answer was nothing, think about how happy that nigga was to tell you that it was nothing. That's how we operate, all right? Nothing is a great thing, but fellas, do not expect your woman to understand peace. Just like you don't understand her quitting $1 million an hour job, she will never understand peace. Because to them, peace looks like happiness. And they don't like happiness when they're not around. She's not going to preserve your peace. And I know there's some women in here like, no, I'll preserve my man's peace. And you're a fucking liar. Because think about a time your man was in the room by himself, staring off into the distance, smiling, and you walk past the room. Did you look at him and go, he looks happy. I'm gonna leave him by himself. He looks happy. Or did you go, the fuck is he smiling about? It better be me. It better be fucking me. And she thinks you're happy, fellas, so she wants to know what's causing your happiness. But she don't know it's peace. Nothing comes with peace. So she comes and asks you, what you thinking about? And you think it's a good idea to tell her the truth. And you look her in the face and go, nothing. And that's when the fight starts, because they don't get it.
How can you think about nothing and be happy? How is that even stimulating your mind? How is that even, what even is that? So you just sitting up here absent-minded? I got a man that's absent-minded. I got a man that don't think about nothing. I got a man that ain't thinking about our next big move. I got a man that ain't thinking about how to get more money. I got a man that's meditating, staring off in the distance, thinking about nothing. I got a man that don't want to do nothing with his life. See, that's the problem. You're satisfied with the regular 9 to 5. I didn't marry no 9 to 5 N-word. I married a man that's going to be ambitious, a man that's going to be entrepreneurial. I married a man, or wanted a man, at least that's what I thought I was getting when we stood at the altar and the pastor prayed over us. I thought I was getting a man that was really going to have some drive, that was really going to have some focus, that was really going to try to work hard to put me in a Bentley in the next 5 years. Can you leave me alone, please?
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women have absolutely no idea what peace looks like to their man. If your man is sitting somewhere by himself in silence with a little smile on his face and he is doing absolutely nothing, he's not fucking with nobody, he ain't bothering nobody, let that man sit in peace. You do not need to roll up on him and ask him no goofy ass question like, what are you thinking about? Or why are you so happy? Because now he got to make the decision to look at you and actually tell you nothing, or lie to you and be like, you're what I'm thinking about. And the whole time that man was sitting there probably thinking about absolutely nothing, just sitting in peace. So let him sit in peace when you see him sitting in peace. I challenge every woman who sees this video to go and ask your man what peace looks like to them. And when he gives you an answer, honor that. And let him have whatever level of peace he told you it looks like.
I saw a post that said that men are dating more for peace over beauty now. And if that doesn't tell you how dense and how black and white these men think.
Whoa, but I thought the problem was men only cared about how women looked, not really their character on the inside. You should be happy to know that that's not all that matters to them anymore, even though it should be. Look, I don't know who made the original post, but saying, oh, men are dating less attractive women for peace rather than the attractive women, it's a big cope all around. It's either a woman coping as to why she's single or a man coping as to why he's not going for attractive women anymore, even though they'd all reject him. It's all cope. But she kept going.
Is that they're correlating more of beautiful, attractive women to be more difficult and more demanding.
Not gonna lie, isn't a lot of content on here geared towards telling women to expect more from men, telling them to be high maintenance, telling them to control their man?
What men are really trying to say is that they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They want to be able to do certain things and you not being able to say anything about it.
where did you get that from? Again, she said she saw a post that was like 2 sentences. And she kept going after that, bro. Like, she talked for 2 minutes about what that post meant. Notice when I summarized it, like I summarized it in like 10 seconds. It's like, again, men are choosing someone who respects them, who likes them, who treats them kindly. Because again, as I said in yesterday's video, a lot of women are conditioned to be with men they don't like, and they end up treating those men poorly. So men are choosing to be in more equitable and happy situations. Like that just seems like something any human being would do given the same situation. And look, I swear to God, there was that one post where I was talking about there was some woman who was talking like this, where it's like, oh, they're just picking something easy. They want to get away with stuff, da 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 da. I stitched a video saying she was rude, disrespectful, etc. She didn't listen. I swear to God, I'm not going to go back and find it though. She literally stitched the video and she said, "You're right." And she was laughing. Like, it was like a big, like, funny moment for her, which I'm glad. But it's like, again, it's like they take pride in being extremely difficult. So then when men are like, I don't want difficult things, then it's like, what are we talking about?
A lot of men are telling me that all they need is peace in their relationship. And I'm like, what do you think a woman needs in a relationship? A woman also needs peace. And so, men, if you want peace in your relationship, your actions needs to be peaceful. If you want peace in your relationship, your words needs to be peaceful. If you want peace in your relationship, your thoughts needs to be peaceful. If you want peace in your relationship, your movement needs to be peaceful. If you want peace in your relationship, your leadership needs to be peaceful. But you can create a cantankerous environment and expect your relationship to be peaceful, because a woman is a multiplier. Whatever you give to the woman is going to multiply it and give back to you. And so if you are not getting peace in a relationship, the only person you need to look at is you, because you are supposed to be the leader. And as a woman who is a reflector, right, and a multiplier, we are going to give what we receive. All right? Make sure to repost, like, and if you're not following me, go ahead and do so.
And already here for Love Catalyst 222, Miss Anderson. Y'all are not listening. Well, what do you think I need? Peace. I think that you need peace. I think that you need love and safety, which is why I make sure to pay the bills, which is why I make sure to pay for the dates. But you're still not satisfied with that. Oh, these flowers only costed $5. Trash. Disruption of peace, chaos. Oh, this restaurant isn't expensive enough. I don't want to be here. Disruption of peace causing chaos. Oh, you didn't send me a car. A man that I know would have sent me a car. Well, I can send you a car next time. Okay. So I send you a car. This car is not up to my standard. This is a regular Uber. As a matter of fact, what's that cheapest Uber? Uber X or something like that? I can't remember. Whichever one. It's the cheapest one. This is not an Uber Black. I hate it. How dare you? Disruption of peace. Disruption of peace another time. Double chaos. 4 times. You can see how fast that can go downhill within 2 dates. Within 2 dates. So the man has seen you twice, and both times you caused trouble? What do we need to continue on for? He didn't call me back. He ghosted me. I don't understand what I did wrong. I mean, I really like this guy. This guy looked really good to me. I have no idea what I could have done to turn him off. I can't figure it out. 4 times. Actually, honestly and truly, 3 times. Within the first date, you were the problem. And then he gave you another chance for some reason and took you out on another date. And actually, y'all didn't even get to the table before you were complaining about, oh, well, this wasn't an Uber Black. I request an Uber Black. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and send you on back to the house. As a matter of fact, you can get your own Uber back, since you show me which Uber you want, and you can pay for it yourself. I'll stand out here and make sure that you get in the car. I'll stand out. Oh, no, you don't got to stand with me. I mean, fine. I'm leaving. I didn't want to anyway. I just did it to try to be a gentleman. But if you don't want me to stand here, I won't stand here. But if you do, I will stand here until you get in the car and make sure that you're safe. I'll even do you one better. So nobody can say, and I can remain blameless, I'll text you and say, hey, did you make it home safely? In about 10 to 15. As a matter of fact, I'll do you one even better. Hey, how's the trip going? Are you all right? Okay, cool. And then maybe 10 minutes later, hey, just checking to see if you got home. Oh, okay, all right. Have a good night. I know you're probably going to want to talk to me. I know you're probably going to well, if you've been such a gentleman, you've been so nice, how come you couldn't do this, this, and this? And I'm going to take that opportunity to tell you what you've been doing. And I'm not going to mince words about it. I'm not going to be rude to you, but I'm going to be like, well, you know, this is the way that I expect to be treated. When I'm doing something for somebody and they always complaining about, well, the Uber wasn't up to my standards. The roses wasn't up to my standards. The restaurant wasn't up to my standards. When they complain about that off rip, instead of trying to get to know me, what do I need it for?